Good morning.
Good morning.
Getting set up here.
What I thought we would do is start laying down, kind of reverse the order of Savasana so that we end with a peppy, active bit. And so we're going to lay down and stretch our backs and our legs and our hips and get going. And I guess Marge will join us when she can. If you aren't, I think if you mute yourselves back, just in case you have a phone ringing or anything, and then if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself. So we're going to lay down and just stretch real long on the floor, stretching through our heels and our hands. Byron is in the other room stretching with us. Stretch long. Reach your left foot and your right arm, and then reach your right foot and left arm, and then reach your right foot and your right arm. Just keep stretching long, long, long on the floor. Raise your head a little bit and lengthen your spine out. And then grasp one hand with the other and make a curve with your body, stretching your spine a little bit to the side. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then take the opposite arm with the opposite wrist and stretch to the other side, curving your body. Really stretch along, be elastic. Feeling the stretch between your rib cage and your hips. And then stretch long again, just both arms straight up. Try to have your scapula back on the floor so that the stretch is occurring between your hips and your rib cage. And then swing your arms around and grab your right knee and bring it to your chest. Taking a nice deep inhale, expanding your belly into your thigh. Release. Another deep breath, still pulling on your right knee to your chest. And then while holding your knee tightly, just slide it towards your elbow, back towards the center of your chest. Sliding your knee side to side, loosening up the hip joint a little bit. Extend the right foot to the ceiling or wherever your leg can be straight. Slide your hands up and then rotate your foot, your ankle, 3 or 4 times in each direction. And then point and flex, point, flex, point and flex. One last good stretch of that leg through the heel and bring it back to your shoulder. And then set your foot on the outside of your extended leg and just let your hips relax for a moment. Then lay your right ankle across your left knee, opening up your right knee to the side and push down with your hand. Draw your left knee up and reach through your leg, your right leg, and grab your left knee to stretch your right hip. And do whichever supine posture you prefer today. Just opening up the right hip and feeling the stretch. You could take your right ankle in your hands and slide your bent leg back and forth, or just keep pulling on the left knee to bring your right ankle towards your chest. You could straighten your left knee. Just hold this pose for let's count to 20. And then bring both knees into your chest and raise your head. Give yourself a big hug. And then extend the right leg long, pulling the left leg into your shoulder. Take in a couple of deep breaths, expanding your abdomen into your knee, massaging your abdominal organs against your leg. And then let's slide our left leg towards our left elbow, and then back to our chest, sliding back and forth. Saying, good morning, left hip. Extend the left foot up, stretching long through both heels. If you like to stretch your legs up your heel, and let's rotate our ankle 3 times in each direction. And then point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. One last long stretch of the leg. And then place your left foot outside your right knee and let your hips relax for a moment. Open your left knee out to the left side, pressing it further open with your left hand. And then raise your right foot flat to the floor, reach through, and again, do whichever supine position gives you the best stretch today in your left hip. And once you have found that position, let's count to 20, just holding the stretch. Let's set our feet flat on the floor, our knees apart, our feet almost as wide as our mats. And we're going to windshield wiper to the side, whichever side you want to start. And when you fold your legs over, just let them rest for a moment. And then go slowly to the other side. Rest for a moment. Back to the other side. Feeling the length through your upper hip and thigh as you rest on the floor. Back the other side. And back again. And let's bring our knees up and just rotate your knees around so that you're making circles with your lower hips. Go in both directions, however it feels comfortable to you, and just massage your low back on the floor. Let's put our feet flat on the floor and just tuck our pelvis up slightly and lay it down. stretching long through the lower spine. Just lift it up very slightly off the floor and set it down. Let's do that 3 more times. Just a very subtle lift up and down. Lift and down. 1 more time, lift and down. Now let's take our knees over, stretch your arms out, have your scapula down, so your arms are in a T, and just rotate your knees together over to the right side. And if you're able to look to the left, feeling a nice stretch and a little bit of a twist in your spine. Lift your knees up. Maybe draw them to your chest for a moment. And take them to the other side. Arms open and looking over towards your right hand. Be aware of the placement of your knees. Are they in alignment? Are you able to get your knees lined up, which means your hips are straight? It's a goal, it's not a requirement. Come back to center and then have your knees up. And again, just massage your back by turning your knees around in a circle so that your hips are being massaged on the floor. 3 times in each direction. And set our feet back down. And let's come up and turn over into child's pose. Just stretching our spine long. So come on your hands and knees and then set your rear end back on your heels. And if your head won't reach the floor, use a block. Have your knees fairly close together, just allowing room for your chest to come down. Stretch your arms forward towards the top of your mat. And then after a few minutes, when you feel that stretch, move your hands back and lay your hands back by your feet with your head on the floor or a block. Breathe into any parts of your back that feel tight or tense. And then take your knees apart towards the width of the mat, having your big toes together, and stretch your arms forward in the other form of child's pose, feeling a stretch in your groin. And let's gradually come up into table. If you have blocks, let's have them handy. We don't need them for a little while, but have them handy. And let's just go into table. Have your hands stretched as fully as you can on the floor, pressing down on your knuckles. Your wrists are below your shoulders. Your knees are below your hips. Look back and move your feet aside so you don't see them. And then let's take a big inhale, dropping our spine, center of our spine. We're looking like an old cow. Inhaling. Exhale as we round our back and look back at our tummy buttons, stretching our spine up. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, rounding up. Really feel the motion in your spine, stretching in both directions. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now let's come into neutral and just turn over our right shoulder, looking back at our right leg, just stretching through the left side of our spine. And then go on the other side, curving our spine that way. And let's sit back and just rest our wrist, rotating our wrists. Letting them work out. Let's make a fist. I'm probably sitting in the too dark here. I don't know if you can see. Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch. We're going to go back into table in a moment. Always feels so good to use our hands. Whatever feels good to you today. All right, let's go back into table. Sorry, Irene, you've got yourself all rearranged. You're gonna go back into table. And let's extend our right foot back, raising it up. Doing our balance pose. Reach back and make sure your hips are parallel, that you haven't raised, good correction, Irene, that you haven't raised one hip higher than the other. Extend your left arm. Make sure you've got good lift in your shoulders. You're reaching back with your right heel and forward with your left arm. Your abs are engaged. You picked a spot on the floor to stare at to help you with your balance. Very nice, everybody. Set your hand down on the floor and take your right foot over your left foot, setting that right foot on the toes on the floor, and look back at your right foot, looking over your left shoulder. Now bring that right foot and set it on the floor beside your right hand. And then if you can grab your blocks and rest your elbows on the floor. This gives your hip a good stretch. You can open your hip out to the right a bit, rotating your foot so you're on the outside edge of the foot. Gives you another flex point. You doing okay out there, Byron? Yeah. All right. I can't see you. That's good. He says that's good. Hi, Marge. Just feeling the stretch through that right hip. If you don't need the blocks, that's fine. You can put your elbows on the floor, but I'm feeling the need for the blocks. All right, let's come back up into table and have our hands on the floor, our knees on the floor, and inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding your back down. Look at your tummy button. Stretching, nice big long hump through your spine. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding down. One more time. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. Now let's take our left leg back, extend and raise, stretching through the heel. Check that your hips are parallel to the floor. And raise your right arm. Engage your abs. And stare at a spot on the floor. And have lift out of your shoulders. You're stretching in opposite directions. You're using the muscles of your right arm, your abs, you're stretching long, and you're balancing. Setting your right arm down, take your left leg over the right, setting the left foot on the floor outside your right leg. Looking over your right shoulder at your left foot. All right, and now bring that left foot and set it on the mat outside your left hand. Take your right leg back and put your arms on the blocks, lowering your chest. Feeling the stretch in your left hip. And if you prefer to open your leg, your knee out to the side and rest your foot on the outer edge of the left foot. That's a slightly different stretch. They both feel good. Lift yourself back up, back into table. We'll do 3 more cat-cows. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. Inhale, looking up. Down. One last inhale. And looking back. Now you have options here. I'd like to go into a gentle downward facing dog. And so curl your toes under and then just lift your knees off the floor a little bit. And if you wish to stay here, that's fine. At any point, you can go into child's pose. And if you're ready for a full downward dog, slide your hips back and up, stretching your heels down, stretching long through your arms and up through your hips, and pedal your feet slowly, right, left, stretching long through the calves. Back and forth. Feels so good to stretch long through the legs first and early in the morning. If you're able to come into a plank, and then down into child's pose, whichever child's pose you feel like doing right now. Let's come up and sit back and relax our wrists again. We're giving them a good workout. We're going to do our hip flexor stretches next. So let's bring our right foot forward. Have your ankle under your knee. You should be able to see your toes beyond your knee. And your left leg can be up, or you can be on your knee, whichever you prefer. I'd like to start with my leg long and then put my knee down so we can do the stretches through our leg, but let's take it one step at a time. Feeling the stretch in our left hip flexor. And bring the knee down if it's up. Hi, Hal. Good morning. Hi, honey. All right, our left knee is down so we can slide our hips back and raise our the front of our right foot up, stretching long through our right leg. Come forward, back into the hip flexor stretch, stretching. Have your torso up. That increases the stretch through the hip. Take your hips back, stretching through the right heel. Forward again to stretch the left, torso up. Proud warriors. Stretching long through the right heel one more time. In this position, coming lower, lowering your chest towards your knee increases the stretch through the leg. Coming forward. Joanne, how are you with doing a forward fold? If you shouldn't do it, just do. I'd like to bring both feet together. And Joanne, you might want to keep your hands on your shins so that you're not forward folding fully. Everybody else that would like, come forward. Bring your hands to the floor. Keep your knees soft, but legs as straight as possible. And let your hips relax, your spine relax as you stretch forward. Breathing in and out through your nose. Bring your hands to your shins with a flat back. Your neck is extended straight as a straight extension of your spine. And let's take our right leg back. Bring our left foot forward, left knee over left ankle, hands to your left knee if you can, with your hip flexor on the right. Torso is erect, whether you're using blocks or your hands on your knee, have your torso up. Feels so good. Bring your knee to the floor, lay your right foot flat on the floor, and feel the change in the stretch. Making sure your knee is well behind your hips. Let's slide our hips back, raising our left front of our left foot up, stretching through the left heel. Slide forward again, stretching the hip flexor. Hips back, stretching the foot through the left heel. Sliding forward again. And then back for the last time. Give that a good long stretch through the left leg, lowering your chest closer to your left knee if you're able to. Extends the stretch in the leg. And forward one last time. Let's come back to our knees, hands and knees. Set your blocks aside. And take your right arm up towards the sky or ceiling. And then swoop your arm under your left arm and try to put your right shoulder on the floor, your head on the floor. Stretch your left arm in front of you and stretch your upper back. Bring your left arm back to support as you raise up. Hands back to the floor, stretching your left arm up towards the ceiling, following your hand with your eyes. And then bring the arm down under the right, stretching long on the floor, left shoulder to the floor, down to the side of your head, stretching your right arm in front. And then use your right arm and hand to support yourself up. And let's sit back with our knees curved. We're going to do a twist. It doesn't matter which side you start. I'm on my right hip with my left foot over my right knee. Swing your right arm around your right knee, left arm behind you, and look over your left shoulder. Hugging that knee to your chest, feeling the stretch of the hip. As you inhale and exhale, you might find you can twist a little further. Make sure your spine and shoulders are erect. Bring your head back to center and just switch arms for a moment. Right hand behind you, left hand around your knee. Lift up and twist to the right. Turn back to center and stretch your legs long. Front of you, arms up, and just stretch up, shoulders down. The lift is from your rib cage to your hips, and just come forward a little bit. Forward a little bit more, stretching long, stretch, stretch, stretch. Feeling the stretch through your legs. And reach your hands down to your ankles or shins or toes. And then lift, stretching long, your arms long. Let's lift back up. And arms back and down. Let's raise them again. Nice big inhale. Lifting up, arms up. Exhale. One more time, arms down and around, big inhale. Exhale. And let's switch legs. So now bend your left knee and your right foot over your left knee. Your right arm around your knee. No, do the other arm. Left arm around your right knee. Twisting around, lifting up and twist. Looking over your right shoulder. Pull that knee into your chest, feeling the stretch of the outer hip. As you inhale and exhale, you should be able to twist around a little bit further. Take your eyes back behind, stretching your eyeballs. Wherever you're holding tension in your body, try to relax. You should be feeling a stretch in your hip, but you shouldn't be gripping. Let the stretch be a natural stretch, not a gripped, tight stretch. Turn your head back to center and switch arms. Looking over your left shoulder. Your spine is upward and erect. Your shoulders are down. And let's look back towards the center. Stretching our legs long. Flex your feet, raise your arms, give a lift. And as you exhale, come forward slightly, stretching long through your legs. A little bit more forward, stretching with a flat back. Trying to reach forward, reaching your spine forward, grab your toes, your shins, your ankles, wherever you can. And just round forward. But don't let go of the stretch through your legs. Let's reach our arms forward and slowly come up. And let's take the soles of our feet together wherever you can. If you can bring your feet fairly close to your center of your body, that's fine. You can press your knees open with your elbows, your hands on your ankles. If you can rock a little bit side to side. Okay, sit up straight, knees open. Take your feet out a little bit more and just sit erect. And then stretch your legs long one more time. Up, lift up, 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 shoulders down. The lift is in your spine. And come forward with a flat back. And then round over, stretching long through your legs again. Let's just bounce our legs, sitting up, just bounce your legs. We'll get ready to stand up. How's everybody feeling? Thumbs up? Joanne, you're doing okay? Yay. Marge, we'd like to see your pretty face. All right, let's stand up. Take it slowly, Joanne. Raise the screen up a little bit. I'm gonna, I don't know, can you see okay? Do I need more light? Okay, good. Let's just separate your feet a little bit and let's just turn side to side. Just a gentle turn to start. Swinging our arms. So if your shoulders are going around, you're getting a little gentle twist in your spine. Take it slow. Let's raise our arms up shoulder height and keep that same motion going. Let's swim, backstroke. Keeping your hips straight, just backstroke. Try to engage your abs. Make sure you're not tilting your upper back too far behind your hips. Let's go forward stroke. Let's take our hands above our head, grabbing your, taking your right wrist over your left, let's start that again. Your right hand to your left wrist and just stretch over to the side. So you're stretching to the right and you're twisting to look up at the ceiling while you're stretching your left arm long. Come back to stand, switch hands, stretch up and over to the left, looking up at the ceiling under your right arm, stretching long to the left. Let your shoulders relax. And come back up straight. Let's take our legs, our feet are angled out, and we're going to sit down with our knees out. Our arms are up, so we're in the goddess pose. And we can slide a little bit from side to side. Our upper body is solid and straight, just sliding our knees side to side, sitting down low as we can. And if you wish to straighten your legs and turn your feet to the center, then you can do a forward fold. And then come up slowly, turning your right foot to face forward. We're going into one of the warriors. I never can keep the numbers straight. We're going to bend our forward knee. Our hips are facing front, and our left foot is turned in just a little bit. Our right knee is open over our big or second toe of our right foot. And we're just going to bend forward. Our arms are raised up and we're looking out over our right hand. You want to make sure your left arm is shoulder height, in line with your right arm. Your shoulders are down, your torso is up, your head is turned, and you're balancing. Let's bend our right arm and place it on our right knee or on our thigh above the knee and stretch our right arm up towards the ceiling. And if you so choose, you can stretch it over your head, stretching out. Shoulders are relaxed. The stretch is in your back and then your waist. Keep your knee over your ankle. You're stretching long towards the outside of your left foot. Now let's raise up, taking our left arm back down our left leg and raising our right arm, arcing back to the left. Again, we want to keep our knee bent over our right ankle. Stretch up, back into our starting position. Straighten your right leg. Bring both feet center and just rotate your left foot straight. And we're in the position to do it with the other side. Our left knee is bent over our left ankle. Our arms are both shoulder height. Our left foot is turned, our right foot is turned in a little bit. And we're standing up. Our hips are facing forward, facing the... So Irene, if you can turn your hips facing straight towards the long side of your mat or whatever. Okay. I see you in full screen. So sink down a little bit, bending your knee, your right knee. Torso is erect. And then bend your left leg to your left thigh. Your right arm stretches up and then over. Long stretch from the tip of your right fingers to the bottom of your right foot. Bring your right arm up. Your left arm comes up, your right arm goes down your right leg. You're stretching long through the left side and arcing back a little bit. Sink back into your knee so your left thigh is parallel to the floor. Knee is over your ankle. Now let's come up. Turn your feet forward and come down to a forward fold if you are able. Let your head fall, your spine is stretching long. If you'd like to put a block under your head, then just rest here for a moment. The stretch through the inside of the legs feels pretty good. Let's come up slowly, bring your feet together. Shake your legs out. If you need to rotate your ankles. Let's bring our feet fairly close together and bring our arms up, shoulder height, and sit back into chair. giving your thighs a good workout here today. Raise your toes. Very good, everybody. Come up, bring your feet together, arms together in prayer position. Sit back into chair and take your left knee, your left elbow over your right knee and turn and look up at the ceiling, giving a twist. Make sure your knees are in line. Toes are up if possible. And then switch sides. Right elbow over left knee. And then come up slowly. Stretch up. Big inhale. Let's do that again. Big inhale and a loud exhale. Ah. Big inhale. Ah. Let's rotate our shoulders, loosen up. Shake out our legs. Now you have a choice here. I need to go in a few minutes. We can come down into a laying position or seated position or cross crotch position, or if you're in the mood to just move around a little bit on your own and get ready to go and start your day with some energy, or you can lay back and relax, whichever you'd like to do. You can unmute yourselves.
I'm just going to lie down and rest for a minute because then I have to go.
All right. So see you all on the mat. Thank you for joining me today. This has been awesome. Nice to see you, Jane. Joanne, you did wonderfully.
Well, I feel wonderful. So it's well worth reaching out a little further from my comfort zone, right?
Yeah, I know that feeling. I really am learning that if I do more than I think I can, I feel much better.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for making that happen. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Jane. This was great.
Wonderful. Thank you. It was a big benefit for all of us, I think. It was wonderful to see everyone. And I hope to do it again very soon. So let's just lay back for a few minutes and everybody finish up the way they would like. Remember to use your abdominal muscles today.